The crystalline chamber of the Galactic Unity Council hummed with condescending laughter. Ambassador Voke the Vazovian Empire leaned back in his hoverseat, his 6 eyes gleaming with satisfaction as he addressed the assembly. "Honorable delegates," he said, his voice dripping with amusement, "I propose we officially ban humanity from all council affairs. They are primitive, reckless, and fundamentally incompatible with civilized society." A chorus of agreement rippled through the chamber. The representatives from 100 worlds nodded their various appendages, some chittering, others warbling their approval. Humans had been in space for barely 2 centuries in fence compared to species who had sailed the stars for millennia. They destroyed their own moon, chimed in Councillor Ixera, her tentacles waving dramatically. What kind of species weaponizes their own satellite? And their concept of hold my beer, added another delegate with a shudder. It always precedes disaster. In the observation booth overlooking the chamber, Danny Chen gripped the railing until her knuckles turned white. The young human diplomat had been granted this single opportunity to defend her species, and she was watching it slip away in a tide of mockery. "They're not even listening," she whispered to Jasper Rodriguez, her partner and the only other human in the building. 200 years of trying to prove ourselves, and they're treating us like children." Jasper's jaw tightened. At 28, he was the youngest sane anthropologist to ever serve in the diplomatic corps. But his expertise meant nothing here. "We knew this was coming. The mining incident on Kepler 442b gave them all the excuse they needed. That wasn't our fault," Danny hissed. "The survey data was wrong. We were told those caves were empty. Try telling them that." Below, Velketh raised his primary arms for silence. "Before we vote, let us review the evidence of humanity's unsuitability." He gestured to the holographic display. "I have compiled a comprehensive record of their most egregious violations." The lights dimmed. Danny felt her heart sink. This was it, the final nail in humanity's coffin. They would be quarantined to Earth's solar system, forever barred from the greater galactic community. All because of mistakes, accidents, and the unfortunate human tendency to act first and think later. The hologram flickered to life, but instead of the expected montage of human failures, the display showed something else entirely. It was a video feed, encrypted with council-level security codes. Someone had hijacked the presentation. "What is this?" Velketh sputtered, his scales flushing purple with indignation. "This is not my—" The image sharpened. It showed a massive asteroid easily 50 kilometers across, tumbling through space on a collision course with a densely populated world. The timestamp indicated this had occurred 3 weeks ago at the Sigma Draconis system. Danny's breath caught. She knew this event. The council had declared it a natural disaster, unavoidable and tragic. But the video continued. A small ship appeared in the frame, masticably human in design, with the crude, boxy construction that more advanced species found so inelegant. The vessel was a mining freighter, the Maria's Gambit, registered out of Mars. "That's impossible," Danny whispered. "The Sigma Draconis incident happened in a restricted zone. No humans were supposed to be there." Jasper leaned forward, his eyes widening. "Danny, I think we were—" The video showed the human ship approaching the asteroid at speeds that made several council members gasp. It should have been torn apart by the gravitational stresses. Instead, it fired its mining charges directly into the asteroid's core, a desperate, reckless maneuver that no sane pilot would attempt. The asteroid fractured once, twice, 3 times, but it wasn't enough. The fragments were still large enough to devastate the planet below, home to 3 billion Palaxian citizens. The human ship didn't retreat. Instead, it dove between the fragments, firing its mining lasers in continuous bursts. Its hull buckled under the impacts. Warning klaxons that the audio feed picked up screamed in the cockpit. Still, it continued, pulverizing rock, adjusting trajectories with precise bursts from thrusters that were never designed for such maneuvers. The council chamber had gone silent, one by one. The asteroid fragments altered course, missing the planet by increasingly wider margins. The smallest pieces burned up in the atmosphere, spectacular but harmless. The larger chunks sailed past, continuing into empty space. The human ship, its hull breached in a dozen places, limped away from the planet. The video feed showed the interior crew of 4, their faces bruised and bloody, emergency oxygen masks deployed, but they were smiling, laughing even, as they watched the world below them survive. The video ended. The lights in the council chamber rose. No one spoke. Finally, Velketh found his voice. "The Palaxians reported. They said it was a natural occurrence, that the asteroid broke apart due to internal fissures." "They lied," Danny said quietly. though her voice carried in the stunned silence. She had accessed her personal datapad, pulling up the classified file. The crew of the Maria's Gambit made them promise to keep it secret. Captain Rivera said humanity didn't need thanks, they just needed to know those people survived. For humans, Jasper added, his voice thick with emotion, diverted an extinction level event using a mining ship and sheer stubbornness. They weren't even supposed to be in that sector. They intercepted the asteroid on their way home from a job, and decided they couldn't just let it happen. Counselor Ixara's tentacles had gone very still. They could have died. That's what humans do, Danny said simply. We see a problem, and we fix it. Even when it's not our problem. Even when it might kill us. You call us reckless, we call it responsibility. Velkert stared at the frozen image of the battered human ship. His 6 eyes blinked in sequence, a Zorvian gesture of deep contemplation. Perhaps, he said slowly, we have been hasty. The vote that day did not go as expected. Humanity was not banned from council affairs. Instead, they were assigned permanent seats on the Emergency Response Committee. Because sometimes, the galaxy needed a species crazy enough to hold its beer and save the day.